Hello and welcome to my channel. Today is, or at least the day that I'm recording this on, is March 7th, and it's the full moon in Virgo, and Saturn went into Pisces. So kind of wanted to talk about that just a little bit before we get into it. Just because it seemed important. So let's see. I think I have the moon card here. And Virgo. That's the new moon. This is what I get for just going with the flow and not being prepped ahead of time. Oh my goodness, at this rate. Nope. I was about to, that's funny, that's new moon in Pisces. That's what it was at the new moon. Where did you go? There we go. I feel like this is very applicable for today with that combination of energies. So and I'll explain, but I just wanted to very briefly read this. It says it's basically to remind you, while it's lovely to have lofty dreams, you need to ground your desires by taking inspired action. Commune with the heavens, but take practical steps. Find a balance between dreaming big and being practical. It's this is very much like what is going on with Saturn going into Pisces. Well, as I've said before, I'm not an astrologer. I've done just a little bit of reading and I listened to a few different people. But what's interesting is what you can learn and figure out by, studying history and like looking at what happened like the last time Saturn was in Pisces. But before we get into that, it's good to know just generally what Saturn is like just as a planet, and then Pisces is like. So as we've been in Pisces season, Pisces is this very dreamy, intuitive, imaginative, go with the flow, very I would say like the opposite of structure, and Saturn is very much about structure. The sign that is at home in Saturn is Capricorn, which makes sense if you look into either of them. I do have a couple of my astrology books here at the side because I had a feeling I was going to pull one or two of them. I only bring this up because it just feels so very important. Let me get to the right page. It says Saturn is the planet of discipline, responsibility, restriction, and limitation. It's been called celestial taskmaster. Some other people liken it to like a teacher or professor. If it's prominent in a birth chart, it tends to be diligent, determined, reliable, industrious. It can incline a person towards pessimism, inflexibility, and selfishness. Whereas I think if we just go over to Pisces, yeah, I think I did a good summary of what Pisces is like. Yeah, emotional, romantic, impressionable, adaptable, highly imaginative, intuitive. Yeah. What is going on is we have, much like how this card described, we're also having the same thing, you know, playing out of these two very opposite things colliding. And I think this one actually has charts in the back here to show when it was last in Pisces. So it looks like, yeah, it was in 1993 through 94, 95, and then into 96. So if you're born around that time, you're going to be going through your Saturn return. And then I think the best way to describe how, or to relay how other people are have been kind of describing this, is that it's like a restructuring. And if you look at what was happening at the time during this era, it makes sense, and it really stands out to me because I'm old enough to remember that time. Actually, I think that's probably one of the oldest memories I have, is a really big event that happened in 93. So, as I'm sure you could tell by my accent, I am American and from the Midwest. If you're not from the US, the Midwest accent is generally what the broadcasters will have. But in 93, there were a lot of really bad floods, and it happened over months, and it really affected a lot of the towns around my hometown. There are different businesses that have different marks on the wall from the floods, and there were a lot of things that happened after the flood of 93 that they did to make improvements with how, you know, we handle those rivers now. So the floods that have happened since weren't nearly as bad, but I definitely remember it because as a kid, a good chunk of my mom's side lives not too far where the flooding got way too close for comfort. Unfortunately, they did not get flooded out, but a lot of people they knew did, and it wreaked a lot of devastation. You know, some businesses just had to be completely gutted. Same thing with buildings, just because of all the water damage. Because the rivers that flooded are the Missouri and the Mississippi, and they're, if you know anything about them, they're very muddy. They're full of clay and silt and all of that, and it just made a big mess. And some of the damage was so great that in certain areas of the town that I grew up in, along the highway, there were sections where only the highway was higher than everything else, so the highway wasn't touched by the river, but you could see the banks along the highway, like where the water line was, just based off of what got swept away. So actually I can kind of do a little sketch here. So I have my little notebook. So highway would be, this is going to be exaggerated. So you'd have and then the water came up pretty high up, and then this would be like where your highway would be, where like the cars would be. And just growing up and seeing that, and just how everyone talked about it, and just even just experiencing it as like a kid, it was definitely just one of the events. Whenever people talk about 1993, I think about, you know, that flood and that era. So if you want to get an idea of what may be in store for us as far as a restructuring or different turns of events, it'd be good to look at what was going on in 93 through 96 and you know, all the changes that are in store. Yeah. I can't remember when the flooding actually started, but I know it was months that it was going on for. Because I remember, like, there was a point where we couldn't go visit my grandma because of how everything was, how they were trying to route people around everything, and it just was going to be too much of a hassle. But yeah. Oh, I think my paper is so bright you might not be able to see my little sketch here. I'll redo it here in pen. So if you have the side of the road, the ditch, and then the highway is graded up, and then it comes down and over, the water came up like that. Normally there would not be water there. Normally there's nothing. But of course they've made improvements since then, and done like extensive work, and they have all sorts of stuff that they've done. But yeah, I just felt very called to share that. Definitely look into that. And yeah, I'm going to read this one more time because it feels very important. Having the dreams but grounding it. Commune with the heavens but take practical steps down here. Find a balance between dreaming big and practical. Yeah, because like I said, Pisces is all about dreaming. Saturn is being on task. It's like very studious. I don't know how else to put it. Anyway, so I feel like whatever I pull today is going to be supercharged in a way because of all the stuff we have going on. And then also, it's been trying to rain here, well, recently. It was raining earlier, but it was funny because today in the morning it started off with like a very beautiful spring day. The birds were chirping and singing. You know, it was nice and sunny, but it was kind of chilly. And then this afternoon it just turned dark and gray, and it's been storming on and off here. So whenever it storms here, it's like I get an extra oomph from the universe. So I'm gonna try and be like Saturn and stay on task here and do a week ahead So this should be, even though this is going to be early for the time I'm pulling it for, I feel like it's going to be pretty good. And just as a reminder, as we're going through March, you know, as we're also going through Pisces season, if you're getting stuff coming up from the depths, you know, it's okay to feel those feelings, especially if you're in a place that's safe, you know, to take care of yourself and to feel it and look at it and sit with it, but don't linger in it. Like, let it flow. Be like the two fish, the Pisces, flow with the emotion. That all being said, I think I'm ready to get into it. So if you're new here, this is just a gentle reminder. This is going to be general reading, may or may not resonate with you. Whenever I record this, I don't know what the title is going to be. So if the title brought you in, awesome. It's probably for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, you can check out another reading by me. You can check out another reader. There's tons of great readers on YouTube and Twitch and other places. And I think that's about it. This is going to be the week ahead for March 13th through the 19th. Yeah, I think that's about it. That feels about right. Okay, it's going to be the fire signs week ahead forecast. So if you have Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in your chart, then this may be for you. Goodness, I am feeling drawn towards, well, I'm kind of bouncing around here. Hold on. Feeling drawn to do this, and I kind of want to do I had that fleeting thought, but then it went away. This is for fire signs for March 13th to the 19th. So what are the fire signs need to know for the week ahead? Okay. We'll take that. And it was kind of like that. So trying to come out of the deck is a 2 of Wands. And we have a 7 of Wands that wanted to flip. And then, okay. Anyway. Yes. The bottom of the deck is our 2 of Swords. And then we have a bunch of sideways cards. So if you're new here, I do read them as sideways, as in it could be upright or reverse. So we have 4 Cups, Death, Ace of Swords, the King of Wands reversed, and the Emperor. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all. Actually, we'll do it like this because I have more space this way. There we go. actually, hold on. I might actually have... No, okay. We'll just do it the way I was going to do it. Oh, well. Okay, so we have 4 Cups, Death, Ace of Swords, King of Wands, Emperor, and the 2 of Swords. What's interesting is that the King of Wands is opposite direction of the rest of them. So that really stands out. The other thing, there's a couple other things that are really jumping out at me, is we have kind of a color match background thing going on here of blues and greens, and then rainbow, and then a little bit of green, and then, you know, same sort of shades of red here and magenta. And then you have the King of Wands in a red shirt. We have the Emperor in a red shirt. Thinking. Okay, I think I have an idea of what is going on here. So, what I'm really drawn to on a couple of these cards, I keep kind of going, I'm bouncing around between a couple of them, and that's where I'm kind of not really struggling. It's just, it's like, I'm not quite, well, that's not even right either. It's like, I know for sure those two are connected, just with how I'm drawn to that light and how it's like zoom. You can just see, you know, the Millennium Falcon going to warp speed. And then similar sort of vein of, you know, the light. But this, I feel like I'm sitting in a movie theater with a projector, and it's, you know, a projector. Because, like, even though this is a shell or a staircase, to me, all I'm seeing and hearing is the film style projector, and that this would be all the film coiled up on the floor, and you have the projection light going out into the theater, and I can just hear the projector noise. Which is interesting, because like that light is going out, but this one is going in. That's what I keep kind of getting bounced around between, is I kind of have this like in out. Anyway, to go back to the Two of Swords for the overall, it's that thing of you're in your own way. Like, the corvids wouldn't be attacking you or tangled up if you would just take the blindfold off and put your hands down. Because that's why there's all the string. That's why everyone's all tangled up. Like, it's that, like, you are your own worst enemy type of thing is what I feel like with that one. And then, I don't know, I'm really drawn to those two. And like, I know for sure this one's tied with it too, just because of like how the colors are. So this would be, you know, she's just about this cup. She has 3, but even then she's like but someone's offering her this cup full of rainbows and she's just like I guess. Kind of like that Eeyore. Which then kind of side tangents me into like that transformation, that like gonna set off on a new adventure transformation, which isn't normally like what I get off of that, but I just see like warp speed, pew, because of being drawn to that. And then with the Ace of Swords and the movie theater projector, I'm thinking, I'm just, how do I, trying to think how to convey what I'm trying to convey. Because of course, like, I'm also like picking up all the symbolism and all the math and everything, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to go up to like upper level math and get that involved. I don't want to like lead you astray. I want to make sure I get it right, but it's just, that's all I keep seeing is like those two lights kind of going on there. I'm gonna try and maybe come back to it. It's just really hanging me up. The next two, I feel like they are very linked. Because we have the thread shirt going on. We have a similar ratio background. similar but not the same color background, covering around the same amount of space, but not the same down here. The thing that really stands out to me, these two cards, but mainly with this one, is just if I look at just this card, I'm only drawn to what I believe is Mars, the planet Mars, which he's just sitting on, which makes sense if you know, like the symbolism and all of that with the Emperor, because it's Aries and Mars and fire and do I need to go on? But with this one, it just, I don't know, it just feels so flat. I'm trying to think how best to put it. It's like this, it's like Mars here looks like a beanbag chair, if you will. Like, this background, yeah, it's definitely, we're out in the desert and there's a lion, but this way it just feels so flat. Like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, so finally, it's like it's clicking now. It took me a little bit. So upright, it feels real, but reverse, it feels like this is a backdrop. Like we're on a movie set and that's just all fake. Like you could just knock over what's behind him and it's just like, it's not real. We're not in the desert. That lion's painted on that backdrop. And this is just an actor with a tiki torch. When it's reversed. When it's upright, it's like, yep, we're in the desert. That's a lion. That's the wand. Whereas upright, we got this Mars beanbag going on, and then it's just Mars. I don't know. This feels like a really, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say like unhinged, but I would say this feels like it might be another like specific reading for someone. Oh man. So the Emperor has all four kings and can embody like the upright and the reverse of those four kings. So it's interesting that they're kind of like opposite each other with how they came out. I'm still trying to think about how to explain what's going on with these. feel like it's a stretch, but I feel like it's transformation of the mind. Because since I'm so drawn to all the other stuff around, and I'm pulling from other stuff, and as you know, like swords, it's all about thought and like knowledge and things like that. I feel like this is, I know it's not like the car of the student, but I'm getting like that kind of feeling off of it, of like diving deep into studies, or going back to school, or something that's really utilizing the mind. Because as soon as I'm drawn to this, I'm then pulled to that, and I'm just like being transported away, and I'm just going into that kind of cycle of death and rebirth kind of thing, of transforming. Yeah. And then I feel like this would be probably what's been going on, and that there's probably something else that you would rather be doing, which is this studying, this passion, this pursuit. I don't know why it took me that long to tap into that, but oh well, it happens. Sometimes we are our own block. Hey, I have to laugh at myself sometimes, you know. I have to break it all up. I guess all together. Okay, I got it now. Your biggest obstacle is you. This is something that you're just kind of about. That you're just, just kind of ambivalent. You're just like, whatever. But you'd rather be diving deep into like a new passion or a new hobby, something where you're learning a lot. But it feels like you're afraid of being seen as like a fake fan, if you will, or like you're not genuine into this new pursuit, that you'll come off as not being real. But you need to push through that, have some of that fieriness, that passion. I mean, that is what fire is, it's passion. And you will get through it. Just like I just pushed through this reading. I do have a bunch of Leo in my chart, so I am right there with you guys, with you all. Man. I'm gonna pull a moon card for you, and then I will leave you on your way, or set you on your way. I'm not leaving, you're gonna be leaving. Okay, let's see. For the fire elements, what do they need need to hear a moon card for the week ahead. It felt very appropriate to have a moon card with today being a full moon day. Wow. It actually landed on the table. Very appropriate. It is the full moon in Virgo currently, as of recording this, but your card is new moon in Virgo. Trust all will be well. I feel like I should read from the book on this one. Okay. Sometimes we want everything to happen yesterday, but divine timing is a real thing. Sometimes we need more pieces of a jigsaw to fall into place before we can get what we want. Slowing down now is the key for you to get what you want, so take your time and allow events to unfold. See what you can do for others as a really quick and easy way, both to distract yourself and to boost your good karma while you wait for your dreams to manifest. There's a reason why you pulled this card, so make sure you pay attention. This card is an especially good sign for matters related to a job or a health situation. And then it says, go out of your way to help someone. Helping boosts karma. Be reliable. Don't overthink things, and be modest. Yeah. Be modest, but also, like, don't think that by pursuing something new that you're fake. Like, everyone starts somewhere, especially in like a new hobby or a new passion. Like when I first started knitting, my first few pieces, if you compare it with my work now, like they don't they look like they're made by completely different people. You know, it takes time and practice. Anyway, I hope that resonated, and if it did, please leave a comment down below. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and as always, appreciate all the watchers, the viewers, the subscribers, the likes, all of it. I hope you have a good week, and whatever new pursuit that you're looking into, I hope you have a good time exploring that new thing.